28.3, even after a 7 mil reduction. Or New Britain, where the mill rate will be 38.2, even after a 10 plus rate reduction. But there's more. I am proud to say that this year's budget put an additional $1.8 million to our Ansonia schools, resulting in a fully funded budget. That's an increase of over 5%. Just ask your friends in other communities how much their school systems will receive this year. And we are supporting our emergency service departments as well, allowing for our ARMS, our EMT service, to transition to a full-time department for the safety of all our residents. Make no mistake, this budget year presented my team and I with an incredible challenge to meet. The impact of revaluation, coupled with the needs of our school system, city departments, and the overall rise of costs on everything, made this perhaps our most difficult budget year ever. However, I am confident that the proposed city budget meets the challenges and more. Despite what some critics may have to say, failure is not an option. Thanks to this board, our finance committee, and city staff for your time, your hard work, and perseverance in helping me put this budget forth. Thank you, and God bless the city of Ansonia, and let's get this done, aldermen and women.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we move on to the next agenda item, I just wanted to make a comment myself and express my appreciation for both staff and for the work of the aldermen. This is a process that started unbelievably 233 days ago. At our October 11th, 2022 meeting, CFO Miller came to us and gave us an update on the commencement of the budget process for fiscal year 24. This included sending out a memo to all departments, and he ended up meeting with department heads once or more throughout the year. The mayor then presented his budget earlier this year, his proposed budget. Then BOAT met in conjunction with our Board of Aldermen Finance Committee. And I'll also note that in addition to the 7 members of the Board of Aldermen Finance Committee, there were other aldermen that also sat in on those meetings. So thank you to them. So we met, several times to discuss the revenues, the expenses, the mill rate, et cetera. But in total, most of us have sat through with a smile, 2 public hearings, and plus 3 budget workshops to get comfortable with this. As the mayor stated, the budget addresses needs for emergency services across the board, and also the Board of Education being fully funded, while also significantly cutting the mill rate. So if we have any questions, the Board of Aldermen for Mr. Miller, or if it's your preference to move on to approve the fiscal year 24 budget. Any questions? Last minute questions from the alderman for Kurt?
I don't have any questions. I was good with it.
Okay. Thank you, Tony, for your role as the chair of BOA Finance. Once again, thank you to Kurt and staff. All right, so the next item is number 5, adoption of fiscal year 24 City of Ansonia budget. Kurt, could you walk us through the various pieces of this, A, B, and C?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So you'll need to first establish, and Attorney Marini can jump in as well, the total amount of city revenues. You'll then need to establish the total amount of city expenditures, and then you will need to establish the mill rates that will be used in the budget. So the total revenues for this budget are $64,475,617. The total expenditures are the same, $64,475,617. And then with regards to the mill rate for motor vehicles, the mill rate will be 32.46. And for real estate and personal property, the mill rate will be 26.24.
All right. Let's
Can I
start
ask
with
a question? Can I ask a question on that, Kurt?
Mhm.
64,475,000. Is it 617 or 817?
617. Sorry, did I say 8? I apologize.
No, you said 6. I wrote down 8, so I just wanted to make sure I have it right. It's $200, so it's not a big thing.
couple pizzas. All right, so 5A, to set the revenues for fiscal year 24 City of Ansonia budget. This is the revenue line item in the amount of $64,475,617.
Be honored to make that motion to accept that revenue for the fiscal budget for 20 for the fiscal year 23-24 at $64,475,617.
Second.
Motion by Mamone, a second by Rivers. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimously. Next item is 5B, to set the expenses for the city budget.
Be honored again to make that motion to set the fiscal year 23-24 budget for the great city of Ansonia at $64,475,617.
Second.
Motion by Mamone, second by Cassetti. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimously. Next item is 5C. These are the mill rates, and as he said, there are two. We'll start with the motor vehicle mill rate of 32.46.
Make a motion to set that mill rate at 32.46 mils for auto and real property.
Second.
Personal property. I'm sorry,
No, no.
personal property.
No.
Just motor vehicle.
Motor
No,
vehicle is the first
Oh,
one.
just motor vehicle. I'm sorry.
Motor vehicle.
All right, 32. Let me make that motion to set the mill at 32.46 for the auto rate.
Second.
Motion by Mamone, second by Rivers. Any discussion on that? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries. And the last item
Apologies for the confusion on that.
the last item is 5C. This is the real estate mill rate.
Make the motion to set that mill rate at 26.24 mils for real estate.
I second.
Real
Motion
estate,
by Mamone, second by Not.
Just a point of clarification.
Yeah.
Josh, if I can, it's for the real estate and personal property.
correct.
Yep,
No, not you.
yep, okay. Thank you, Joe.
So amended.
26.24, Mamone was the motion and Not was the second. Any discussion on that? All right, thanks for catching that, Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimously. Kurt, do we need to vote on the total budget amount or no?
I'm not aware of you having to do so since you've established the total revenue and the total expenditure.
What's John say?
Yeah, you don't need it.
All right, well, it's been real. Any
River, take us out.
other comments? Thank you
Rivers,
again to the staff,
Yeah.
and especially the aldermen. I know there was a lot of meetings, but it is important. This is one of our biggest roles, and I know you guys are sick of looking at this. But thank you again.
Can I spotlight Rich, Kurt, Kim, the whole finance team, all the department heads, Mr. Mayor especially, for all the work on this budget. You know, you guys have done a phenomenal job. Lots of questions, lots of presentation behind it, Kurt. So appreciate all your efforts and your team.
Okay.
And I'd just like to say, I ditto to all the comments that have been previously made, and also a special thank you to BOAT and all its members for sitting through those meetings and doing their part in this process as well.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thank you, everyone.
I ditto that too, and I
Here we go.
To
Here we go.
adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Rivers, second by Mamone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
The recording has stopped.